Hello, everybody. My name is Hellkaiser, and welcome back to Devil May Cry. Specifically, in this case, we're on 4. Uh, and also, I'm home. Instead of playing on Nintendo Switch, I'm playing on the PC, which is my preferred platform. Uh, Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition is not on the Nintendo Switch. You can get it on Xbox One, PS4, and PC, but you can't get it on the Switch, oddly enough. And it came out on the PS3 and stuff, so I'm surprised that they didn't port it. Maybe eventually we'll get a port of 4, and maybe, I mean, heck, the RE engine is running Monster Hunter, and Doom managed to make it onto the Switch. I'd love to see Devil May Cry 5 on there. I highly doubt it'd be able to do it, but I'd buy it if it at least looked somewhat decent. The Witcher was on there, so it's possible. I want to talk about this specific version. I'm not talking about PlayStation 4, Xbox One. So if you have those versions, this is not important. I literally just bought this game years ago. I haven't played it on PC. I played it on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and I played the original on the 360. But I bought this like a year or so ago on the Steam sale. And I was booting it up the other day because I've been playing as Trish and Lady's story just for fun because it's not part of it. And I've gotten so addicted to Devil May Cry, I have to play it. But I couldn't get this game to work. I tried everything I could, and it wouldn't work. Finally, I found a guide, and I kid you not, you have to download, and I'll try to link this. I don't generally put links and stuff, but I'll try to link this because you buy the PC version, which I do recommend because it's much prettier, in my opinion, than the console version. But if you have to download a hex editor and edit the executable of the game. There was a line of code that's mistaken. It's like 0208 or something like that. It's supposed to be 0012. Literally, it's just the launch command is broken. And so you have to redo the launch command to get the game to work. I've only had to do it once, and the game has worked fine ever since. And I played like almost halfway through Lady's story, or should I say Nero's campaign with Lady in it. Other than that, it's a great version. You can run it on max settings, super high texture resolution, super high quality, maximum shadows, all that, and it runs good. I think the cutscenes run at 30 or 60, something like that, but then the game is uncapped in gameplay, and that's about the only thing you need to know about it. We'll talk now about this version specifically. Devil May Cry 4 had the chance to become the best Devil May Cry game. It's up there. But there's two things it did that kind of hurt it. Number one, it pulled a Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2. You play most of the game as Nero, the guy on the cover for the 4. Which now, since 5 has come out, everybody seems to be happy with him and have accepted him. And in some ways, I think he's pretty well loved. I enjoyed playing him in 5 once I got the trick of it. But he looked too much like Dante. Generally, I don't care for the shorter hair on Nero. I still don't. But I think that, especially because they said they only cut it that way in honor of how Dante looked in the reboot. But I think that he looked too much like Dante. The only thing that was different is his arm and his coat. And literally, when Dante wears Beowulf or Balrog, you could have just put one of that arm on him and it would be almost the same character. And I think that kind of pissed a lot of people off that we didn't get to play as Dante. And I'm one of those people. I just didn't think it was right. I like Dante's personality. I thought that Nero was just a cocky little dick. But that's how Dante is at the end of the day, but with a lot more style. And then the second thing that they did was the game was heavily rushed. Like Nero and Dante's campaigns are so rushed that when you play as Nero, you're going through the levels, and then when you switch over to Dante halfway through the story, and that's not spoilers, this game came out in 2008 originally, and this special edition came out in 2015, so I'm sorry if I pissed anybody off, but you've had plenty of time to play this game, over 12 years. When it came out, well, like I said, you play as Nero, and then you finish his campaign like halfway through the game, and you switch over to Dante, but you're playing through the same levels, just backwards, where Nero would exit the level, Dante comes into the level, and that was it. I kid you not, that was it. You fight the same bosses like Belial and stuff like that. You'll fight those same bosses as essentially Nero wounds them, and then Dante comes back and actually finishes them off. I mean, That's not exactly how it is, but that's the long and short of it. And so you're essentially playing to the same levels twice with just a different character. Essentially, like when you play Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, you play as Virgil, but just in the same levels, pretty much the same thing, which was kind of a disappointment. And then, aside from that, there was some just different issues, some minor technical problems, and the game kind of felt a little cobbled together. Originally, their original idea, from the way I've understood it, was that they wanted Dante and Nero's stories to be separate. Like, you could, kind of like how you play as Claire and Leon in Resident Evil, you know, but with separate levels and everything, with it just sort of overlapped at certain points. I guess you'd say more like Resident Evil 6. And then another thing that pissed people off, and I wasn't as bothered by it because I understood that this is not a remake, this was just a re-release essentially on modern hardware. But when the special edition came out, a lot of people were thinking, why didn't they restore some of the cut content? And they didn't restore any cut content. There's supposed to be additional weapons in the game and stuff like that, maybe some like DLC. But instead, all they did was add Virgil as a playable character and Trish and Lady. And fix some technical issues, add a couple of costumes, and microtransactions. You can buy blue orbs and red orbs and Proud Souls, which we'll get to Proud Souls in a few minutes. But that's the long and the short of it. If you don't care about nothing else, that's all you need to know, is that this special edition has some problems on PC, but you can easily fix it. And this special edition isn't that much different than the normal version. It's just a few extra characters. But like I said, it's still a good game. Is it my favorite Devil May Cry? No. 3 was my favorite until 5 came out, and I still would rank 3 higher than 4. Like, if I had to rank the games in order, it would be, from best to worst, it'd be 5, 3, 1, 4, 2. And the reboot, I would count somewhere... I'd count it probably just before 4 or right after it. I'd say equal to it, you know? The story's terrible, but the gameplay's good. So that's my ranking of the series. It's not a bad game by any means. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into... I can't start a new save file, that's why I didn't play as Nero. Because for some odd reason, you can't save to multiple save files. So see, I was playing as Trish and Lady. You can play as Trish and Lady, and they take over Dante's... That's a great loading screen, by the way. You can take over... Lady takes over Nero's side of the story, and then when it switches, you switch over to Trish, and that's about it. Virgil plays through the entire campaign. His story does not switch out with another character, it's just him all the way through. And then there's a regular story with Dante and Nero. Because we have all the DLC unlocked, Legendary Dark Knight mode is unlocked from the beginning. That's like the hardest difficulty sort of thing. We'll be playing as Devil Hunter because that's the standard difficulty. You can play after you beat it on like Son of Sparta, and then Dante Must Die, and then there's all the extra difficulties. But at the end of the day, this is the normal standard difficulty, so we're going to be playing on a normal standard difficulty. You can have a few extra costumes equipped. I don't know if that's supposed to be... I don't recall him ever wearing that, so I think that's supposed to be like a concept art costume. But that's about it. Other than that, let's just... Oh, one last thing. Because I've been playing as Trish and Lady, I might have some extra Proud Souls. So if I don't know how that works from campaign to the next. So if that's a problem, you know, I'm sorry if I'm getting a few extra bonuses, but it's not going to be that much. See, when I was a kid, when Nero came on screen, I was thinking, is that Dante just with a new outfit? And then I started seeing a little bit more of him, the headphones, all that, and I thought, this is not Dante. And I was about 9 or so when I played this game. And even I knew better, because I've been playing Devil May Cry since I was a kid. The first one came out in 2001. I played the first game around 2005, and I played them like all 3. Or, I don't think, yeah, I had 2, but I didn't really play it that much because I didn't like it. But I played them all like back to back, and I was so excited for 4, and then I was disappointed. I just didn't like these enemy designs either, the puppets. I thought the ones from 3... Because Atlas still helped out with this game. But I just didn't like it, the way they just look like puppets. I got subtitles turned on, but I don't think they're playing for some reason. It's just a song anyway. That's Sparta there. These people worship Sparta is the story of the game. Man, not even using a weapon. I forgot that he didn't use a weapon here. He uses their weapons. I never understood why there was demons outside of the church, so you'd think the city probably wouldn't just let them spawn in, you know? This song's boring. It's not that it's bad, I'm not a big fan of this kind of music. I think it's an interesting song because this game has a big obsession with angels and demons, kind of like how Atlas does, because it's made by Atlas, or helped out by Atlas. But you never see, like, Nero's battle theme, the lyrics are, he'll make the angels scream and the devils cry. But you never really fight angels other than the Angelos, which might be considered that, but you get what I mean. It just seems like an odd thing, unless they're like seeing some demons as angels. Like, I feel like the song here is about Sparta. Like he ascended from a demon to something more because of his actions, if that makes any sense. Powerful voice, I'll give her that. And he made it. He missed a little bit of it, but he was there. Or you could say that that fight was going on. There's Dante. You know, when I first saw this as a kid, I legitimately didn't really see him there. At that time, I was needing glasses. I mean, to be fair. Okay, yeah, subtitles are on. Good.
The Dark Knight turned against his demon brethren and took up his sword for the sake of mankind. Though, despite his brave efforts in our means, I fear some have...
He's playing his own battle theme in his ears. Why is everyone else wearing hoods is the thing I don't understand here. It's a church, yeah, but why wear hoods?
We, weak humans, would have no means by which to oppose our submission. And so I ask you to unite and pray that even if such a dark time of chaos were to revisit us, our gracious Savior would shelter us from the storm. Let us pray.
Why were they praying to a demon? I mean, I get that they worship him, but, I mean, he's not a god. He can't hear the prayers. Or at least I would imagine he can. I don't imagine Dante can hear people when they pray to him.
Nero, what's wrong?
I'm out of here.
But it's not over yet.
All this preaching's putting me to sleep.
It's not preaching, it's exposition, my friend. What an entrance. Believe it or not, like I said before, I kind of styled my look after Dante. I've kind of grown my hair out almost to where it's that long. And I actually have a pair of red cowboy boots like that, and multiple red leather jackets. I've always liked to wear boots, and like when I saw that as a kid, I know it's not necessarily like full on boots. It's more like his chaps have that coloration to them. I just thought it looked so cool that I styled my look, because I used to like blue when I was a kid. That's why I liked Virgil and stuff, because he had my color. But then after I played more and more of Devil May Cry, red became my signature color. I never understood why they tried to paint Dante as such a bad guy here, because that's the thing I didn't like about this game too, is it's a massive tonal shift. And like, he's never killed humans before, but now he's killing them by the dozens. You know, it just seemed odd. I assume these people are human. They might be demons as well. I mean, some of them have devil forms. I don't know if all of these people are demonic, though, because Nico is from Fortuna, and she's not a devil. Why would she go out there? She's not equipped to fight. Man, that blood got washed off his face real quick. Ooh. I thought his revolver was cool. I'll give him credit. He's got a cool gun. It's a waste of ammo because he has to manually reload it, unlike Dante, because he made it himself. But if it's a 6-shooter that fires 2 shots and you lose shots.
Get out of here. I will return with help. You stall him until then.
I like how it doesn't say beat him, because he knows he can't beat him.
I won't hold my breath.
He talks a lot like, now that I know he's the son of Virgil, he talks a lot like Virgil. Like, his voice patterns are very similar, you know. The way he said, "I won't hold my breath," is very similar to how he talks. I like how Dante just does not give a fuck about any of this.
You got a jacked up notion of fair play, pal. And it's beginning to piss me off.
Okay, now for the tutorial. No Devil May Cry game has ever given us a tutorial before. Even 5 does not give you a tutorial. But this game does. And they try to act like... I think that this Devil May Cry is supposed to be like a Devil May Cry for the next generation. But like, they try to pretend like you don't know who Dante is. Or why not just say his name? Okay, I can't unlock skill up. Now, yeah, I do have some extra Proud Souls. So as you can see, there's the red meter on the left. That's your red souls. You know, your currency. You've always got red orbs. From the first 3 games. And 5. Well, for some reason, Devil May Cry 4 decided, and I'm not entirely against this, but I found it an odd design choice, that buying items was extremely... Okay, apparently I have a power-up too, because I bought 4 blue orbs. So I got a little extra health, so forgive me if that's a problem for you. I'm not going to get any extra skills, I just get a little extra health, so, again, sorry. But anyways, I was saying... red orbs now just buy items. Like, you can just buy devil trigger orbs and blue orbs and holy water and stuff like that with them, and that's it. Proud souls now are your upgrade currency, and you earn them at the end of every time you die or something. They cash in, and essentially your style rank. So if you get nothing but smoking sexy style or whatever, I think it's called smoking something style in this game, then you get more Proud Souls. And so that's how it works. So you could die halfway through the mission and be able to stop and get new upgrades, but you or use them at these upgrade sites. but you can't use red orbs to buy them anymore, which is perplexing. It's strange why they chose to have you do that. Okay, see, they give you a frickin' tutorial, like I need to know. I like how Dante's just pulling a Virgil now and just walking towards me. See, you gotta wait till he shoots, too, which is so annoying. And you'd think when you're playing, like, Lady or Virgil that you wouldn't have to do it no more. Oh, they still expect you to do it. I like how they actually gave him just a special taunt with the arm bandage, because this is the only time you really see the one arm like that. Side roll. I like the way that Dante and him also cock their guns to the side, if you can't notice. They kind of hold them gangster, and that's another sign kind of giving it away that Nero is related to Dante, because they both kind of... There's a lot when you actually come back and play this game after 5, and if you knew the post, because even before 5 came out, it was confirmed that Nero was Virgil's son. I think they did it on Twitter or in a book or something.
I guess this doesn't quite cut it.
Why the motorcycle engine, I'll never know.
Cracking a sword like that if you aren't even gonna use it.
Because he doesn't need to use it against you. I like how he mocks him. He doesn't even have to say anything, he's still got more sass than anybody else in the world. He really just doesn't care, and that's what's so great, is he just... It doesn't bother him at all, he's not even having to speak. He knows he's just so much better than you. Okay, high roller, yeah, I know how to... All of Nero's abilities are named after gambling stuff. Like, that's another thing that could relate him to Dante and Virgil, because people think that that's just Dante's signature catchphrase. Well, he says it himself, that that was not just his signature catchphrase, but Virgil's. They used to say it when they were kids. And so all of his abilities being named after gambling techniques is also a hint that he's family. We just didn't think about that when we were kids and first playing this game. Dang.
You got a trick up your sleeve.
And it is Ruben Langdon that voices Dante in this game too. He started doing it from 3 on, and so it's going to be the same voice from this point on for Dante. Dang. I like how he only talks when he sees he's worth talking to. Okay, now we got our Buster arm, which is pretty cool because, see, this is the only cool ability that Nero really had that made him different. I've heard some people say that it was so useful that they couldn't play Dante's well without trying to spam this button. I never thought it was that useful, but it does do some pretty good damage on enemies.
So, you're looking to play, huh? Alright, I guess I got some time to kill. Tough guy, huh? Well... yeah.
That's cool.
Whatever you say, kid.
They do a great job introducing them because they're both stylish. You know, they both they fight unnecessarily style-like, but it does add to their cool factor. Because you see just Dante being Dante, And then you get to see Nero kind of showing his stuff a little bit more. Get back here. Come on. He's hopping away. It'd be nice if I had Stinger or something here. I mean, I know I don't need it, but still, it'd make it much easier to fight. Ooh! Now pay close attention to this scene here in a second, because I'm going to use this as a comparison later in the series. Well, not for specifically this part, but I'll show you when it happens. Yeah, here. Dante gets stabbed right through the chest, which he's been done through the whole series. Here, he just shrugs it off. And DMC Devil May Cry, you know, they do that whole scene of him sitting there screaming in agony and stuff like that, tearing his heart out and stuff. You know, that's the scene a lot of people use to compare the two of them. See, he doesn't just pull the sword out, he pulls the whole sword out of the wall with him and just leaves it in.
You aren't human, are you?
Clearly, he's not human.
We're the same. You
And the fact that he says that's another hint that they're family.
and them.
Oh, they're all demons, so they weren't human.
Though I suspect you carry something different from the others. What are you talking about? You will come to learn the meaning soon enough. But business beckons. Hey! Adios, kid.
And of course, backup arrives literally 5 seconds later. Why does he hide his arm? Because, I mean, clearly they can see it. That's not hiding that arm. Okay, so he done the first mission, got an S rank. Sweet. Apparently I didn't earn any Proud Souls, though. There's a lot more cutscenes this game, or at least the cutscenes feel a lot longer. Because I talked for about 9 minutes, and we're 28 minutes into the video now. We've only got to play a short section. That was the frickin' tutorial. What does she do? Why would she try to carry that?
You brought this here for me?
See, and he's got his sleeve down.
She yearns for your touch.
That could mean a lot of things. Why can you wiggle the camera?
This blade's the best battle companion a swordsman could wish for.
But he already had his rev-up sword. I guess his is a modified version. So why did they... I didn't realize that before. That necklace resembles what the necklaces of the pendant that Ava
Fortuna Castle.
gave Dante and Virgil in the reboot.
Guy just came from hell. He's gotta hit up a couple tourist sites.
Jest so lightly in a time of crisis?
I guess they think now his hand looks similar to his glove, because he wears a black and red glove.
Capture him.
Why must he capture him?
I'll get it done.
Please be careful. You still haven't recovered.
There's no time, and duty calls. Can't pass on an emergency.
I must return to headquarters and report.
I guess we'll get to see their kids in the next game, maybe. And I have a feeling she is pregnant, because if you played through Virgil's campaign, Devil May Cry 5, Dante says you'll never get to meet your grandkids at this rate. And because you never see Kyrie in Devil May Cry 5, I think that was the reason. I mean, that might just be spoiling, or not spoiling, but what's speculation. Well, I genuinely believe that she's having his kid, because why would he say that, and why was she never shown? Because they made models of the people for that one scene of the game in the opening, and just never showed them again. And they made a model for Morrison, and he's only shown like 5 times. They could have made a model for Kyrie. They just chose not to, because they'll make it the bigger reveal in 6.
Fredo, take care of Kyrie. I got this.
That will never not be stupid, having a motorcycle engine. And they do say it's a motorcycle engine attached to your sword.
Report back as soon as you can, and be careful. Gideon, run! Go with the others!
That's not watching after your sister. Of course. How could a devil worshipper be so innocent? I mean, I get in this world, Sparta is a good demon, but still, you get the general idea.
Get out of here!
Like, I always felt that it was odd, and as a kid I didn't ever really connect he's a demon in some way, so technically they're all devil worshippers.
Not so fast.
I'll pause and talk about it here in a second. Like that would actually block off the entrance. I like how this is a slowed down version of his theme. I love The Time Has Come, or No, Never Surrender, depending on how you choose the title. It's both. I don't know how that works. That doesn't make any sense, that he's able to ride the monster. Because he revved up his motorcycle engine. Okay, now let me talk for a second. Jeez, I just forgot. Oh yeah. Like I said, as a kid I never really make it... the fact that everything looks like that city, I forget what it's called, in Bayonetta, you know, and they're supposed to be so close to the angels, Paradiso. It seemed odd that everything's white and clean. I guess maybe that does make it more interesting, because everything's so pure looking for them to worship devils. But you'd think it'd be a lot more demonic looking, you know, like black cathedrals with stained glass windows and inverted crosses, and like, instead of just doing a exposition dump for a sermon, that they would like sacrifice a pure maiden, and like they try to make Kyrie out to be like this pure maiden. I've heard a lot of people say that she is one. They're devil worshippers. Unless she's going to get sacrificed, you'd figure that they'd have like orgies or something, you know, because sin would be Sparta's power or something, you know. Maybe I'm reading more into it because I'm trying to combine Christian philosophy with Devil May Cry 5's weird philosophy. Okay, so now we can buy combos. For some reason, everything costs more after a while. Yeah, see, everything starts to cost more, which becomes incredibly annoying. I still managed to get all of his sword attacks, at least. I didn't even know I had that many souls saved up. Okay, abilities. I want speed. You see, everything starts to get a lot more expensive after a while, which becomes incredibly annoying. I don't have enough money for anything else. So there, we got a few skills. Can't afford another blue orb, but we're good to go. So start the mission. Now we'll actually get to play Devil May Cry, and maybe we can get through this mission. Okay, I get it. I know how to... I've done been locking on since the tutorial. Oh yeah, I love this theme song. Like, this is probably my favorite. I don't know why. I can just resonate with it more. It just seems powerful. You know what I mean? Like, he's really getting stronger. I like the theme of the Angel's Scream and the Devil's Cry. On like my 4th playthrough of DMC5, I actually switched. As much as I love Devil Trigger, it's a great theme song. There's something just cool about that lyric line. I love that line. I think that this theme is far better than Dante's theme ever was. I get it. I never understood why they put this red dot on the map to show you your entryway into the level. See, like this right here is where we spawn into the level. I guess it's to help try to prevent you from getting lost or something like that. Although, I still don't understand it. Okay, so that's the same as 5, okay. I've been playing a lot more of 5, so that's more my mindset. If you don't know what I'm doing, I'm revving his sword, because if you rev his sword, it gains more power. You can later unlock abilities to make it rev easier and auto-rev and stuff like that, but until that moment, you have to do it by hand. I find that one of the most annoying abilities of Nero. I hope in the 6th game, if we play as him again, that we can unlock an ability to just let it rev automatically after so long, kind of like how Gunslinger for Dante auto-charges his swords, because it becomes very, very annoying. Okay, because I done picked up the blue... Okay, that's odd, because normally you wouldn't let, separate campaigns, I guess, to do separate things, but I've already collected the blue orb from there. So I don't get it again. I guess that's good. I guess that means I go back to play as Lady in my own time. I should be careful, though. I'll show you the cutscenes if I finish them from Virgil and Dante's story. I mean, from Lady's story. It's not nothing particularly special. It just adds a little extra bit to the game. I actually quite enjoy playing as Lady, though. Her kit is different. She only has one combo and a couple, like, extra moves with her melee attacks. So everything is based on her guns. And it's like playing a completely different game. Okay, yeah, I know. I played Devil May Cry before. I like how now the doors don't attack you either, because I always thought, crap, that was a stupid idea. Because essentially you can mess up a good combo sheerly by accident. I remember these fights being harder as Lady. I don't know if the difficulties just naturally turned up, or like there was more enemies, maybe. But it seemed like there's less enemies. Like I'm just fighting like 3 or 4 dudes, and they go down before I can even get my combo revved up all the way. Yeah, this is still stupid. Like, I like the idea. It seems like something only that could be done in an anime, you know what I mean? But it's still dumb that the sword has a... And they do say it's a motorcycle engine he's got revved up in this thing. I like the design of the Red Queen better in 3, because you can actually see each individual engine. That's a lot of demons. It's a shame we don't actually get to fight that many demons at once. It would be fun, especially them being so low level and easy to die. Yeah, see, sometimes the camera angles can get annoying here too. I guess that's one of the reasons that they left the marker to show you where you came from and stuff like that. Although I'm pretty sure this is literally just where I came from. Yes, it is. See, I thought I was going down a separate hallway, but the way that camera angle looked was different. So I'm supposed to go here. I'll take that. Need to save up to get me another blue orb. Okay, get our first new ability. That would be that Grim thing. I know how to move the camera. See, like, at this point, if I didn't know how to move the camera by now, I'm never going to know how to move that camera. You know, that some tutorials are just things that they don't need to be. If you're that ignorant, then you don't need to be playing games. What, has he never seen a relic like that before? I mean, he's been in this town his whole life. It makes it strange. You can tell that maybe this was meant to be like more Dante's story other than Nero's. Evil Legacy. They awaken new power. Hellbound. Why doesn't that work on all these chairs? I have no idea. And now I gotta rev up the stupid sword again. Get used to seeing me do this, and it never gets less annoying. That's why I don't like it. Literally, Nero's my least favorite character just because, like, his skills in Devil May Cry 5 in the post-game. I won't spoil things just simply due to the fact that I'm hoping to be able to play it on PS5, but I don't think I'm going to get a PS5 copy. I've tried to get a PlayStation 5, and I can't get one of those. But I've already finished the game, and I think it's only one save file on there, too, so you might end up getting it spoiled anyway. But after the post-game, his abilities are so much better. But the sword is just, it's annoying. It's not necessary, but it's still an annoyance, if you ask me. I'd much prefer I hope that they incorporate the style system into Nero. I know that people would say, well, now they're just trying to make him into Dante. But if Dante is not going to be in the game, the style system is one of the coolest features of Devil May Cry. You can't just get rid of the style system. Or at least in my opinion, you can't. Okay, yep, secret mission. They even give you a tutorial on the secret missions, which they never done in the first game. I actually forgot that there were secret missions in Devil May Cry 1. Okay, kill all the enemies in the time limit. Now you can pull enemies to you, which is nice. I'm not going to taunt or nothing, mostly because I am, because I can't help myself. It's part of me, even though I'm on a time limit, and I know I shouldn't. You can't resist the awesomeness of it. There we go, got him. When I played as Lady, that took me 7 attempts, because I didn't have no abilities for her, and her guns are so difficult to master. First, once you start putting points on them and you get your abilities, she's one of the most overpowered characters in the game. She can literally two-shot a boss with Matala Ann, or Matila. I don't know how to say it. Matilda? Matilda. That's how you say it. I finally learned how to say it. Matilda. I'm sorry. I've always had a hard time with certain words, and that's one of them. So Matilda Ann, that's the name of it. Hallelujah! I learned something new, and it just came to me. I saw the spelling in my head, and it finally said Matilda. When you fully charge it up, kind of like Nero's color up, or as it's called in 5, then you can almost one-shot a boss. Okay, I got an A rank. I wish they'd throw a few more enemies at me. This is honestly too easy. I'm telling you, when I was playing as Lady, there was more enemies. I just know that there was. It feels like there's less enemies. I'm having too easy of a time. And I'm playing on the normal. Now they're telling me how to do this. A fuel injection system and adding a special propellant along the blade that propels the next attack. That still makes no sense. You shouldn't even bother, game. You're not going to convince me of whatever this is. Ow. Why would they put these enemies so far apart, too? They're not even coming after me, realistically. That was easy enough. Okay, now for some... This should almost get us our next blue orb. I'm trying to hit the triggers and switch weapons, because that's what I'm so used to doing. There we go. Not the best, not the worst. Smash up some stuff around here for health and orbs. Because I like to have as much health as possible, because some of the bosses are not exactly easy. They're not super difficult. Like I said, this game overall is vastly easier than 3 was. 3 is the hardest game in the series. People said 1 was difficult. I didn't struggle with 1 that much. And I didn't even know until recently. After I finished the game, I started watching some videos to see if maybe I missed some, I guess what you'd call difficulty curves. Or like, not difficulty curves, but like moves, hidden moves, something like that. Okay, there's something over here. Because my arm is reacting. But I can't see nothing, and I can't get to nothing. I don't have, like, a double jump or nothing. Yep. Come on, one last try. Okay, I'm up here. Is that the secret? Oh, my arm is pointing me in this direction. So maybe it's something down here. No, because I can't go down there. What is the secret? I don't know. I can't see nothing, and I'm not going to keep wasting our time because we're low on time. And yes, although the game is supposed to have an uncapped frame rate, it's capped at 60 apparently, because I'm only getting 60 FPS. I thought it was uncapped. Maybe something is making it capped, but if you look in the settings here, I have the frame rate set to variable. Yeah, see, it's set to variable frame rate. You can set it to 60 FPS max, but it's supposed to be in my resolution. My hertz is set to 165, so I don't know why it's playing only at 60. I think it's just locked at 60. I don't even see how he thinks that Dante may have gone this way. The man in red coat headed off towards the coast. To get there, you're going to have to lower the drawbridge. I mean, he was on the rooftop. He could have gone to San Francisco, for all you know. I mean, once he gets on the roof, he could go north, south, east, or west. Okay, I want that red soul. Or red orb. This game is a pretty game. I will give them that. I mean, to come out in 2008, I mean, some of the textures show it. It looks like Bayonetta, which came out a year later. But it still is a pretty game. You know, it's not aged as bad as you want. This special edition came out in 2015, and they added a few new textures, stuff like this. And playing it on PC, it genuinely doesn't look too bad. What are all these demons doing here, by the way? In the other 3 games, it made sense because you're in like bad places with demon. Now you're telling me about the stylish ring? I know. What I was trying to say is I just don't understand where they think that all these demons are coming from. It doesn't make sense from a story perspective or anything. Again, it's over just as I feel like I'm getting my combo up. See, like I didn't even get to finish the taunt to get my score up higher. I didn't even get an A rank. Okay, and open the gate. I'm telling you, it's easier as Nero. When I first played as Lady, like I said, until you get to like the 4th or 5th level and you get plenty of Proud Souls under your belt, she's hard to play as. It's a different learning curve because you can't use your melee attacks, you use guns, and you're not conditioned to do that in Devil May Cry. How that works, I don't know. But I died like 8 or 9 times trying to get to that level. Just this level. And it was just difficult for the first couple, but once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. More enemies once we come in here. Let's rev it up. Yep, this takes forever. There we go. What, they didn't spawn in more enemies here? How odd. I think there's a few outside, yep. Why did my score go away? There it is. Again, I can't get my combo past to B, and I've got all the skills for the Red Queen, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to. It's just a matter of the enemies die so quickly you can't get a good combo. I know how to taunt. I've been taunting this whole time. You're not gonna count it this time. In Devil May Cry 5, you can instantly get your combo score to D by using it first. There we go. There we go. Crap, bastard. I didn't think he'd jump in the air. There we go. That was a pretty good combo. I still can't get to S rank just because there's not enough bloody enemies. I've gotten to that point where I feel a lot more confident in my abilities in Devil May Cry 2, because I used to feel very self-conscious, because I played Bayonetta when it first came out, and I just kept getting stone awards, and as a kid, you know, I wasn't super good at this. I didn't play on, like, easy automatic, but I was not very good at it. Bosses were super difficult to me, like the journalists claimed they were to them. And it took me a long time to get used to how difficult it seemed to get. But now I've been doing a lot of practicing. I played through both Bayonettas and Devil May Cry 5 a lot. And I feel a lot more confident in my abilities now. I know what a divinity statue is. Item. We'll get that blue orb. Sweet. Did it not count as me getting it? Yeah, it did. I don't know why the screen still said I had so much money there. Okay, good. We're at the end of the episode just as we reach the boss. So we'll take him out and move on down the line.
Let me guess.
I like how Nero also wears blue and red, which is Virgil and Dante's colors combined. And if you mix blue and red, you get purple, which is the color associated with Sparta. Because in his portraits and stuff, he always wears purple. And they said they did that on purpose, because Virgil and Dante are both one half of Sparta's personality. A lot of people say they wish they saw a prequel of Devil May Cry, and I'd love to see one too, just explaining Sparta's motivation. Because a lot of people think he did it for Ava, and he didn't. Or Eva. I don't know how you say that name. I like how he just walks by completely unnoticed. And puts out the fires. Mundus Corporation.
Fire's bad for the complexion. I burn easily. ever tan.
When I came to this world 2,000 years ago, there was no such human as the likes of you.
Want to make it another 2,000?
You should be able to tell he's not human right there. That's way too much strength. Wouldn't it be better to say a conqueror of hellfire? I mean, I guess they have their reasons, but still. This was my first boss fight as Lady, and boy, I'm telling you, it's difficult because I didn't have enough powers. I'm not going to bother trying to rev up the stupid sword because I don't have time in the middle of this fight to rev up the stupid sword. Whoa! There we go. I like that. Boom, baby. Oh crap. You messed up my combo. You're gonna die for that. Come on. Whoosh. Okay. A little hotter on the collar, I see. Oh crap. Crap. Thanks, but no thanks. Crap. Whoa. Okay, health's a little low. Health's a little low. Should I take a vital star? No, because there's health. There's health. I can make it. No, I can't make it now because it's gone. Let him get over here where I'm at. Or can I blow these up? No. Only he can. Thank you. You don't know just how much you helped me out right there. You saved me from having to use a vital star. Whoa. Out of my way. He's got me pinned in the corner. But you just gave me more health again, so thank you. See, they make these fights just a little too easy because of stuff like that. And now, boom, baby. That's it, he's out.
Don't ask. Damn thing drives me crazy, though.
Yeah, it'd be awful hard to get sleep over that.
And he would be...
See, I don't feel like they ever tried to really keep it that much of a secret. Everybody acted like, oh, it's a shock when they found out Nero was related to Dante and Virgil. I mean, you can clearly tell he's somewhat related because they keep using pronouns like he, and whenever they do stuff like that, you can pretty much tell. I mean, first off, Dante and Virgil have white hair, and Sparta had white hair, so that means it's a genetic trait of Sparta. There we go. Lots of orbs. And now time to get out of the level. Why the level doesn't end? They literally make you walk to over here. And then the level ends. I always felt like that's stupid. It could have just ended right there. Okay. Ooh, we got some good scores. An A. I got 3 A's. You can't give me an S? Okay. Mission menu. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. So far, like I said, it plays good. It's still really good. I feel like in some ways, now that I'm looking at it, when I first played this game as a kid, like I said, Nero was just this cocky little dick who wasn't as cocky or as... Dante is a dick, but he's a lovable dick. You know, the reason he taunts his opponents and stuff is just because he really is that much better than them. He's never really met an opponent that he ever has to give full attention to, except for Virgil and Mundus. And that's really about it. There might be one other or two I'm forgetting to mention, but I'd say the end boss of Devil May Cry 2, but again, he was so serious in that game, I don't count it. But, he never really had a problem. Although we, the player, suffered from difficulty, the character of the story never had an issue with his opponents. That's why he styled on them and stuff, because he preferred to take them out more stylish. He could have, as we see in this game, I forget the name of the monster, the poison ivy woman. He just takes Ebony and Ivory and just pulls out his hand cannon and shoots her, and she's dead. Now, you could say he weakened her previously in the fight that we played as the player, but ultimately it looks like he just messed around a little bit, dodged a few attacks, and pulled out his gun and shot her without much difficulty. And so that's true of most of the enemies in the game, too. That's just what made him cool. But Nero just seemed like he was trying to be edgier, a lot edgier. Like, he was essentially V before it was V, and V was a lot cooler. And I preferred it. The sword revving up is still the stupidest thing in the world, just because it's not implemented well. There should have been a skill, and they could have added this in the special edition, and they could have added it in 5, where it costs like 1,000,000 orbs, but the sword auto revs on its own when you're not using it, or if you land a perfect attack when you hit the button, it automatically fully charges, or something like that. And that's my main complaint so far. I'll probably think of some more later in the game, but that's the main things I can think of. Before we continue, I know we're over, but I just want to say a couple more things. If you're wanting to know, if this game is worth your money, it's a 100%. Like I said, maybe not get the PC version if you don't want to mess with files, but it's not that big of a problem either way. I think that this game could have been the best one, just because if you think about it, you have 5 playable characters in this game alone, and they all play different. Nero has the sword that revs and the Devil Bringer arm, and Dante has the style system and multiple weapons to choose from. Virgil has his Dark Slayer style and a more limited moveset, but it's just awesome to play as. Lady only uses guns, and Matilda Ann, I'm so happy I finally learned how to say that, and her style is radically different from the others. It's like playing a completely different game when you stop playing as Nero, Dante, and Virgil, and you switch to Trish and Lady, or specifically Lady, because it's like rewriting the rules. You got to tell your whole brain, don't get in close and melee attack, use the guns. And then ultimately Trish plays pretty good. Ultimately, her and Virgil don't play that much different from Nero and Dante to make that much of a difference. But the playstyles are just different enough from each of these 5 characters that you don't just have to hit the same buttons and kill things. Virgil has his concentration meter and stuff like that. And like I said, Dante has his style. So everything's just varied up just enough that it seems varied and entertaining because of that, and I love that about this game. And I'd say that's one of the if this had just been a little different, it would have been better than 3, because especially when you introduce the special edition with 3 more playable characters, it was so good. And I do recommend picking it up just because of that, because I played through Devil May Cry 5 times. I'm going to be playing through it 6 times when we do our recording of it, and I'm not old to that. And I played through 4 characters with it, and maxed out all their skills and everything. I've not really played through... I don't think I ever played as Lady and Trish's story when I first played through the special edition. But now that I've been playing through their stories some more, it is really fun to get to play a game 3 separate times, just on the normal difficulty. That's what you wanted to do, with 5 different characters. I think that's really cool, and that's a lot of value for your money. I think it's like $20-$30 on Steam. You can probably get it on sale cheaper than that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all of your support, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening.